Hey, Elba.
Hi, Greg.
How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for coming.
It's good to finally meet you.
Same here.
Fantastic.
Come in.
Yes. Elba, do you mind if I take a quick look at your home?
Sure. Let me show you the upgrades I've done.
Well, you know what? I just want to look at it through the eyes of a buyer, if you don't mind, okay?
Sure, no problem.
I'll be right
Go
back.
ahead.
Thanks so much.
Have a seat.
Thank you, Elba. Love what you've done with the place, by the way.
Thank you.
Did you receive the package that I sent you in the mail?
Yes, I did.
Fantastic. So I did bring that with me as well.
Great.
And as you recall, there was the marketing plan.
Right.
Did you have a chance to review that?
I did.
You did. Fantastic. Did you have any questions?
No.
Good. Number 2 was the actual CMA. That we're going to go over this in its entirety, just so you know. And then finally is the actual listing agreement. Now this, I just want you to know that at any point during my presentation, you can certainly sign that, okay?
Okay.
Now, Elba, I wrote down 3 real important questions for you, okay?
Okay.
Number 1, do you absolutely have to sell this home?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay. And I did make note of that. Now, will you price the home to sell, or do you want to keep it on the market for a long period of time?
No, I need to sell my home.
You do need to sell the home.
do.
Okay. To get you to Miami, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Now, 3, do you want me to handle the sale for you?
Well, let's see what you have to say, and then at the end of the presentation, we'll see if, I accept.
Okay, well, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. Now, at the end of my presentation, Albert, one of 3 things will happen. Number 1, you'll have the opportunity to list your home with me. Okay? Number 2, you'll decide not to list your home with me. Or number 3, I'll decide not to take your listing. Anyone is fine, okay?
Greg, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Why wouldn't you take my listing?
Well, Elba, if I found that I couldn't do the marketing necessary and get you what you wanted in the time that you needed it to happen, I wouldn't take your listing. I wouldn't do that to you. Okay? Make sense?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, let's quickly take a moment and review the questions that I asked you over the phone, okay? Now, you said that you were moving to Miami, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that you were moving because of a job.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good for you. And you said that you had to be there by August 1st, correct?
Yes, I have to be there.
Okay, we have to get you there. Now, you would like to price your home at $530, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
I would like to price my home.
Okay, that's interesting. And you said that you owed $470, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you weren't planning on selling yourself, were you?
No, I really have no time, Greg.
Okay, terrific. And you did want me to get your money out, correct?
Please.
Great. Now, Elba, there are only 2 issues we're going to have to look at tonight. Number 1 is your motivation to sell this home. And number 2 is the price we set on your home.
Okay.
I've prepared what we call a comparative market analysis. There are 2 parts to this research. Part 1, we call Fantasyland. It's what homeowners tend to list their homes for. Part 2, we call reality. It's what real estate agents list and sell homes for. We're going to have to decide tonight where you're going to spend your time.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Great. Now, the purpose of the comparative market analysis is to determine the value of your home in the eyes of a buyer. Do you know how buyers determine value?
They compare prices?
Exactly. Buyers determine value by comparison shopping. They look at the value of your home based on its features and benefits and compare it with the features and benefits of similar homes that have sold recently or currently on the market. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Great. For instance, if you were going to purchase a brand new car and one dealership had a car for $20,000 and another dealership had the exact same car for $20,000, but it had a CD changer and fancy rims, which would be more valuable?
The one with the upgrades, of course.
Why?
Because you get more for the money.
Because you get more for the money. Exactly. And what if the first dealership put the car with no CD player and rims on sale for $15,000? Which would be a better value then?
The one for $15,000.
Why?
Because, of course, it's less, and if I wanted to add more features, it's going to be less than $20,000, correct?
That is correct. So, Elba, you can see that if you want to increase value, you could A, lower the price, or B, have more features and benefits for the same price. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Great. So unless you're planning to add more features and benefits to your home, are you?
Well, I was planning to upgrade the bathroom.
You were planning to upgrade the bathroom. Well, I have a question for you, Alba. Would you say that the market is going up or going down right now?
Well, as far as I hear, it's going down.
You hear the market's going down. Do you think it would make sense to put more money into what we call in the real estate world a depreciating asset?
Well, Greg, wouldn't it show better? And maybe I would probably get more money.
Well, in this market, Alba, a house showing a little bit better doesn't get it sold. The only thing that will get it sold is the price. Can I show you what I mean?
That makes sense.
So, Alba, you recall we, a moment ago, spoke about Fantasyland, correct?
Yes.
The first two properties are properties that are in Fantasyland, and I just want to review that with you for a second. Now, Alba, this particular property is just like yours. How many bedroom?
2.
How many bath?
2.
How many square feet?
1,781.
Now, are you familiar with this neighborhood?
Yes.
And have you seen this house?
No, I have not.
Well, it's just like yours. How much are they asking?
$534,000.
Asking $534. How many days on the market?
258 days.
258 days. And you said that you had to be in Miami by August 1st,
Yes.
right? Would we be able to do that?
No.
Right? It's not going to happen. Number 2, again, another one in Fantasyland. This house, again, just like yours, how many bed?
2.
How many bath?
2.
How many square feet?
1,781.
What are they asking?
529,000.
Oh, 529,000. How many days on the market?
167 days.
167 days, yeah. Again, you have to be in Miami by when?
By August.
By August 1st, right? Is that going to happen in 167
No.
days? It's not going to happen, right? Okay. Now, very important, this is what we call reality. This is what homes are selling for in your neighborhood and the time that you need to be sold for, okay? I just want you to know I want to be upfront with you and show you actually what's happening so you can make the best decision for yourself, okay? So this particular property, again, just like yours, how many bed?
2.
How many bath?
2.
How many square feet?
1,781.
And how much did it sell for?
$495,000.
$495,000. How many days on the market?
65 days.
65 days. Now, could we get you there by August in 65 days? Absolutely, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Finally, is another one in reality. This home is just like yours. How many bed?
2.
How many bath?
2.
How many square feet?
1,781.
Are you familiar with this neighborhood? And have you seen this home?
No, I haven't.
Okay. How much did it sell for?
$490,000.
$490,000. How many days on the market?
41 days.
41 days. Elbo, could we get you to Miami if we
yes.
sold this in 41 days?
Yes.
Makes sense, right?
It does.
So Elbo, based on what we've seen, based on what we know, what price do you feel we should use to create value in the eyes of a buyer and get someone to purchase your home versus the competition?
Well, Greg, I see where you're showing me, and I see the prices you've been giving me. I really want to price my home for $530, but like I said, I've been looking at the prices, and maybe we could go a little bit lower, maybe $520.
$520. Interesting. Elba, based on what we've seen here today, I'm going to recommend a price of $490,000. Will you list your home with me for that price tonight?
Greg, there's no way I would list my house for $490,000. I'm going to end up losing money.
You're going to end up losing money. Well, Elba, to that point, I've actually put together what we call a net sheet. And I just wanted to review that for a second with you. So now, number one is, if we list your property for $490,000, once we subtract commission, your attorney fees, your transfer taxes, and some of the other proceeds, you're going to be at about a $28,000 amount that it's going to cost you to sell this property, which will leave you a net of $461,677. So based on that, and knowing that you owe $470, you're going to have to bring probably $9,000 to the closing table to get this transaction done. Elba, do you have $9,000 in an account that you can bring to the table to get this property sold and get you down to Miami?
Greg, I really don't have $9,000. So
Well, I could certainly appreciate that, Elba. You're in the same position as many other homeowners. If we don't get your property sold, what will you do?
I was thinking of renting, maybe until the market goes back up.
Okay, so you were thinking about renting until maybe the market goes back up. I could certainly appreciate that. There are just a few things I wanted to point out to that point, Elba. Number one, Jeff Otto, he's one of the top appraisers in the state of New Jersey, if not the. And when it comes to home valuations, he is the guy. They just put out this report. He's saying that home prices will not rebound until 2020.
Wow.
Until 2020. Now, would you be prepared to rent your property out for that amount of time?
No.
Right. And then number two, another report that's saying home values are still going to be going down by 1% per month over the course of the year. Now, I did a little bit of math on that, Elba, and if we did 1% per month over the course of the year, you're going to lose an additional $58,800 just on that alone. Another question for you. What are your monthly carrying costs for this property, meaning your mortgage, taxes, and maintenance? About how much?
It's about $3,872.
Okay, and how much would you say we can get for rent?
I'm thinking $2,500.
About $2,500, and based on some quick calculations, Elba, that's about $1,372 that you would have to bring. Let's say we got you sold and you're down in Miami, you're going to have to worry about $1,372 every single month on top of that for another 10 years. Elba, with those two things alone, if we just waited 1 year, it will cost you $75,000. Now, does it make more sense to get this nightmare over with and you bring $9,000 to the table, or wait 1 year and spend $75,000? Which one makes more sense?
Of course, the $9,000.
The $9,000. So, Elba, based on that, will you list your property with me for $490,000 so that we can get you to Miami by August 1st?
Well, Greg, if I decide to sell it for $490, will you be willing to reduce your commission?
Well, Elba, if we do have to get you to Miami by August 1st, and that is the date you need to be there, right?
Yes.
I'm afraid we won't be able to do that if we reduce the commission. Can I tell you why?
Sure.
Well, number one, as your listing agent, that marketing plan that I had sent over to you, it's a very progressive marketing plan. It's very proactive. We've actually quantified how much we spend versus our competition. We're at about 4.5% of that 3% that you pay out. So it cost us 4.5%, but we only charge 3% to get that done for you, okay? So that's that. Now we have to decide from there what we're offering out to the co-brokers that would bring their buyers. So let's say, for instance, if you wanted to offer a reduced commission, let's say at 2%. Then let's say there was another listing at 2.5%, another listing at 3%, and then finally one with a bonus at 3.5%. If you had your best buyer and you can only show them one property that afternoon and they were all the same, which of these properties would you choose to show your buyer? Are you going to show them 2%, 2.5%, 3%, or 3.5%? Which one of these?
3.5%.
Why?
Because you make more money.
Because you make more money. Don't you feel a lot of people would feel just like you?
Of course they do.
Elba, based on what we've seen, will you list your property with me tonight for $490,000, offering out a full commission with a bonus so that we can ensure that we get you to Miami in the time you need to get there?
Well, Greg, I need to be in Miami by August, and I see what you're saying. So yes, I would price my home for $490 for that.
Fantastic, Elba. Sign the contract.